Welcome back to more Guild Wars 2. We're going to start by getting this vista I forgot, but the other vistas from this point on will be covered in a guide at the end of the area. So I won't be going out of my way in the videos to show off all the vistas, but you will be receiving a guide at the end that contains them all. Now here's one thing I noticed. It kind of shows here, but my weapons are weak enough to not make this entirely evident. Your weapons do not scale. Your level may scale, and does scale very well, as we'll see later when my friend gets on. But his weapons don't, and that enables him to completely run through these opponents. Even though the level scaled, the weapons don't, and that's one of the things that's actually interesting. You will steamroll enemies that, when you were at the level, did not. You couldn't steamroll. Although with this health regeneration signet, it's proving to be pretty powerful. The other thing that, of course, does not scale are the fact that you have all your skills unlocked the higher you get up in the levels. So when he gets down here, he'll have all 10 skills unlocked. So he will be ungodly powerful. But just a little bit of a jaunt, and we're up here at the vista. Looks like someone's having a good time. Yep, just a look at the area, nothing major. Now, I cut out there some unnecessary things, as you would expect. Right now, I'm trying to figure out where I have to go. I was still in a 100%ing mindset, so that kind of just got me in a hey, let's look at everything type of deal. And, well, I'm going to be messing around with this map, just looking and seeing if there's anything I forgot. Which I'm also doing right now, because there is indeed a sad fact that I have not yet 100%ed this map. There's one thing stopping me, but we'll cover that in later. Over to Bridget's Outlook. There are apparently things. That's the next quest we have to do. And because it's in the water, or right next to the water, I'm going to decide to level up, for lack of a better term, some of my weapon skills, my underwater weapon skills, which will prove to be extremely helpful later, because a lot of this next bit takes place underwater. But first, a little bit of a dynamic event. We don't get many rewards out of it because we didn't get a good contribution rank, but a little bit more renown never hurts. But underwater fighting, not awfully hard. We'll get a good view of that later. There's actually two weapons the warrior can use underwater: the spear gun and the harpoon, I think it's called. Might be a trident. No, it's not a trident. That is a separate weapon. Might be a spear, even though spear and harpoon are very similar, except one's used underwater. But regardless, first thing we're going to notice is that there is a mining node underwater. Yes, they can do this, and it makes it very useful considering the amount of water around. And you don't have to have a crafting skill in order to harvest, which is brilliant. It only is sad that there's no animation for mining underwater. But here I'm going to get into a little bit of combat with my spear gun. And I'm going to show you why it's important to never stop moving. This is the basic premise of underwater, in fact, most fighting in Guild Wars 2 is to not get hit. If you're not moving constantly, you are going to have problems. And it's hard for me in particular to get that through my head, especially when it comes to the melee combat. I'm used to a more traditional MMO style, which messes with my head a little. Just gotta get through my head a little bit more, and I think we'll be good. But heading out of the water, I completely did not notice that quest happened, or maybe I did, and I just wanted to get this point of interest. That is also a possibility. Again, my thoughts were on 100%ing the map. We must do it. I wonder what rewards we're going to get for a much larger map completion, because this is a much larger map completion than the Glade, so the rewards will be much better. But then again, the experience is also quite nice, and I'm quite happy with that. Cutting ahead to helping the Soundless, repairing nets, which apparently we can do just by touching them. Killing jellyfish, reviving divers, which I don't think I've had much of a chance to show. That there are NPCs around who will help you when you revive them. And they're actually pretty powerful. Which is quite nice. They act like a character when dead.
I'm so grateful.
And, yeah. There's also crab traps. Apparently you can, help, but that's was unnecessary for me. So, that one done. We've completed 10 quests in the area. And that gives us a little bit of rewards. Nothing major, just 5, arena points or whatever they're called. I was looking here to see if these were players in the ground, in the water, but no, they're just NPCs. And so I aggro 3 jellyfish and I'm like, haha, no. And then this 4th one comes in and I'm like, oh crap. Double tapping forward is a great way to get away. Instead of a forward roll, it is a hey, let's pick up the pace type of swimming deal. And it got me away from them, because they would definitely have killed me if I was not careful. Anyway, these nodes are going to come in very handy. Well, they would always come in very handy, because they are the lowest common material needed for crafting. Which is, of course, what I need is a lot of those. But, ignoring that, I noticed I forgot the point of interest over there. Yep, so I'm going to be heading that way, but in doing so, we'll also uncover this place.
I'll pass this along to the pale tree.
And unlock the teleportation point, which is also quite wondrous. But after that, we'll cut back. And I'm going to activate a dynamic event, which I didn't know I could. This symbol above their head means there's a dynamic event that you can trigger. You're going to see a lot of these. Simplicity. I actually had no idea what I was doing when I did this, and I panicked when I realized, one, it is a higher level than what I am, and I'm going to be expected to defeat things that are stronger than me. There's no indication of level before you activate an event, which causes my minor panic here when it pops up.
Monstrosity knows the way. Protect my work.
It is 2 levels higher than me, so I start panicking because no one seems to be joining. We'll be fortunate in that someone does join. Actually, 2 people by the end, so that helps. And what also helps is the guy is... I don't know what level he is. He is downgraded to the maximum level of the area, so he might actually be a level 80. I actually don't have a way of telling. That would be him. And I was very relieved when he joined up. I was like, oh, good. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only level. I'm not the only character here and being 2 levels weaker. Although he did probably rob me of a lot of experience in doing this. But it's a long, slow, trudging climb. Nothing exciting happens
I earned that.
at all. That thing wasn't actually going to attack us. They are denoted on the minimap, as you can see, when they will pop up to attack us. And they're just up ahead.
Quick, kill it!
What also probably helped is the fact that I am a warrior, and my build is actually pretty good, and I got a lot of nice little good quality drops for my character. So that probably helped. But we'll cut to the end. That's my number 5 skill. It is quite beautiful. But the quest is going to complete just up here. I don't know why, but it is just going to end. And back down here, we're going to talk to the scout. And then I'm going to try and figure out what I'm going to do next, because there's one quest left over from the beginning.
The Sepal Grounds Hylic have long battled for survival against the ruthless Crate. But now we've become prisoners in our own homes. We hide in fear of being dragged away to the torments and storm-wrecked deeps. Please, help us.
Yeah, that's basically it. The fish people need our help. I was trying to figure out which one to go to, and that one off to the left that you can see, it's just up from the middle of the screen. That's the one we're going to be heading to. And that's literally where I'm going to be taking us. After I did some mass crafting and bank and inventory management type of thing. But I think we're going to need more skills. You probably noticed that I now have a third skill on the right hand of the bar. And I'm going to unlock some things to fill that bar up. And I'm also going to dye my chainmail gauntlets, because for some odd reason those were not color schemed quite right. Now, I did not notice until I was here that I was like, oh, this is... oh, there's another slot. And there's quite a number of useful skills. I personally only take the signets as much as possible. I take a look at them, and I'm going to buy the Signet of Might, I want to say. I want to say it's the Signet of Might. Yes. It grants, just basically makes me hit harder, as far as I can tell.
Learn something new.
Having it always on, much like my healing Signet, is quite useful. I'm also going to buy a group healing skill, which is, I guess, could be quite useful. And I'm also going to learn a binding skill to bind my enemies, but I don't really use them. Now, going over my skills, basically shield is the only one left, other than spears. But we'll head over in this rough general direction, and we'll see you guys next time, when we start that quest and do other things, and we'll see you guys next time. This is Stomping Llama, signing out.